Hello everyone, welcome to GATE NPTL. Today we are going to solve a question from psychology. It's a one mark question from the topic of research methods and statistics. Now let's read the question. Specific description of a variable that allows it to be measured is called. We have four options: experimental, designing a study, operationalization, conceptualization. Now let's go through these four options and then let's try to understand which option is right for this question. We have experimental. Basically, experimental is a study design. So, experimental approach refers to a type of research design where the researcher manipulates one variable, that is IV, to observe the effect on the other variable, that is DV. So, basically, experimental research is done to find the cause and effect relationship between independent and dependent variable. So, this is IV and DV. So, a researcher will try to manipulate IV and try to see if it has any effect on DV or not. So it allows for establishing, like I mentioned, cause and effect relationship through controlled condition and random assignment. However, it does not refer to defining or measuring variables themselves. It focuses on the research structure and the manipulation. So this is a research design which is used to see if any changes in IV, which is a cause, can have any effect in DV. So that is what is called experimental. So, but our question is not about this. So let's move on to the next one. Second option is called designing a study. So, as the name suggests, designing a study means how we plan to conduct our overall research process. So, designing a study involves planning the overall structure and process of research. This can include like what can be the research question, what can be the sampling method, what are the tools we are going to use to collect the data, and how we are going to analyze the data. So, while it includes operationalization as one step in the designing a study, the term itself refers broadly to the entire planning stage of the research project rather than the specifically defining measurable variables. So, this is also not relevant to our question. Then we have operationalization. So, there is some other term which we commonly use in research, which we say operational definition. So, operationalization means providing a clear and specific description of how a variable will be measured or observed in a study. So, it converts abstract concepts like anxiety, happiness, or motivation into quantifiable terms. For instance, anxiety can be operationally defined as person scores on standardized anxiety inventory. This process ensures that the variable can be objectively studied, replicated, and compared across various research contexts. This is how the researcher is going to describe that particular variable in the research study which he is going to conduct. That is called operationalization. Then we have conceptualization, which is similar to it. Conceptualization involves defining what a concept or variable means theoretically. It focuses on clarifying the idea or the construct itself. For example, intelligence can be defined as the ability to learn from the experience and to adapt to new situation is called conceptualization. But in operationalization, we saw how we are going to define that specific variable in our study. In conceptualization provides a theoretical understanding, but it does not specify how to measure it. That is specified by operationalization. That part is done through operationalization. Our question was specific description of a variable that allows it to be measured is called. So we went through what is experimental design, design of the study, and conceptualization also. The right answer is operationalization. So for this question, option C, operationalization is the right answer. And for further references, please go through these reference books. Thank you.